All right. So before we get started, how is everyone doing?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. I'm so excited to record this, our first recording. The anticipation has been high.
I know I've been excited all day too.
Yeah, it's all I've been looking forward to doing. So it's a good day. It's a good day now.
So let's talk about what's in the news. So we've heard casting announcements, what's coming to streaming platforms, theaters. There's been a lot. So curious to know your all's thoughts on the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot. And then they also dropped the cast. So, what are y'all feeling about this new series?
Um, First of all, Coco Jones is beautiful. That's the first thing I want to say. That's why I even looked at the casting thing. I don't understand the Philip Banks hiring though. I don't know. That one's a little weird to me.
Yeah, I always struggle with reboots because one, they're never better than the original. So it's always a little hard to get on board with them. I feel like it's something that people are definitely going to watch just because Fresh Prince was so impactful. But I'm interested to see where exactly it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why does this even need to exist? Like, why can't they just? And that's the thing around like a lot of these streaming platforms. They're like intellectual property. Since the only thing they can quantify is past audiences for shows, they think that it's like a guaranteed money grab for these shows, which I have a frustration with. Fuller House, Raven's Home. I've watched all of them and they've never been as good as the original, not even close. So, like you
Yeah.
said, Bria, I'm super skeptical, but I'm really happy to see a lot of the casting. Seems like it's like they're breaking into the industry, so it's looking like this could launch a lot of careers for some Black actors and actresses. Um,
That's a
but
fair point.
also, yeah, and I know I saw them like he looks the guy who's playing Uncle Phil looks a lot younger than him,
All
so
right.
like bring it. I don't know.
Was there anyone on the casting that you were just like, oh, I don't think that's a good fit? Or on the new casting?
I mean, it's
Literally just
because like when you sometimes you look at like their headshots, it's so different. Because I remember the NWA movie Straight Outta Compton. I remember
Mhm.
seeing the casting and the guy who's gonna play Easy. I'm like, huh? And then when he's like in his makeup and costume, it makes sense. But honestly, everything just feels weird because it's not the original cast. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I,
that was my first reaction when I looked at the casting was, I hope that they can like play with the costumes and the makeup to make it come to life a little bit more. Because I think they did a good job on some of them, like with Cassandra Freeman for Vivian Banks. I think that was a good choice. And I even like Jabari Banks for Will. I think that was a good choice too. Some of them I'm just kind of like, we'll see it. Like Adrian for Phil, I'm just kind of like this does not look like this man. So hopefully, it'll all come together as a cohesive
Carlson Banks
package.
too.
Yeah, that
Uh,
too.
I also wonder. Like I remember they had there was a trailer before where they were like it was to Fresh Prince, but it wasn't like a comedy or whatever. I wonder if this is gonna be that, and then or if it's not that, and it's just like trying to remake the actual like how it was before. If they're gonna be like Raven's Home and stuff like that, where they try to like modernize it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I haven't read too much in it in terms of the actual structure of the show, but I hope they do more of like a modern take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can almost say certainly that I would not like it if they tried to redo what was already done. So yeah, I hope they take that route too.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it though. I got Peacock.
Me too. I'm definitely gonna watch it, but hopefully it's good and worth my time.
Yeah, that'll be interesting one to review together.
All right.
So next is the All American season 4 trailer that dropped this past week. For one, does anyone watch All American?
No.
I don't either.
Well, I
No,
gave
tell us
up.
about it. Tell us about what the show's about and that too.
Yeah, so it's surprisingly a show that I really enjoy. A lot of people call it like the Black Friday Night Lights esque because it's centered on football and like the community around, I guess, the local community around the high school on the team. I think it's really enjoyable, but you know how all CW shows are. They slowly but surely get a little corny. Say season 3, I thought it was still good, but they have so many characters in the show that it does it, you know, there's some definitely some highs and lows of the series, and I feel like the first 2 seasons were very solid. So I'm interested to see kind of like what they bring to season 4. They also announced a spin-off series to All American. It's called All American Homecoming, and it's actually, so everyone is basically their senior year in season 3, and some decide to go to an HBCU, and so it's going to kind of tell that story. So I think it sounds really interesting. They don't give too much away in the trailer, but I think it's, you know, people who follow the show are probably in for a nice surprise with this season.
Yeah, one of my roommates watches All American, and I've heard really good things about it. So I might have to tune in for the next season.
I watched just the 2 seasons, and then I watched like a couple of the third season, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. But who's the friend that he has?
Coop.
I be seeing the jokes they make about her on Twitter. Those people have me crying.
I know, yeah. It's fact. And I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but I feel like they're definitely going with, well, how season 3 ends. I feel like All American's definitely going to be season 4 is going to be a completely new show because of it. But yeah, Coop is literally my least favorite character of the show.
I'll have to tune in.
And then so lastly, in terms of big announcements, we saw is the Matrix 4 trailer. I know it came out on like a special like fan website. That was interesting. They didn't even publish it on YouTube at first. It was exclusively on that fan website. So that was a cool experience. What are y'all thinking of the trailer?
I feel like it was a lot of action. It looked like what a lot of people say. It just looked like John Wick
Yeah.
and the Matrix, and I was like, all right, yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna go see it, but I feel like also since it's the first trailer, I just feel like it wasn't like a lot. Like it was kind of like just Morpheus and then Neo.
Right. And I liked it too. Like I don't want them to give us too much, but yeah, it definitely felt like the first, I would say, minute of it felt very John Wick.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I'm definitely gonna go see it. I liked the first 2, 3 Matrix movies, so I'm gonna go see it. I'm definitely have to be.
Did she just freeze? She did.
Yeah.
Dang it, Bria. We gotta get her some better internet before the next week.
Your headspot. Bria, okay. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, now I can.
You were frozen.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there, but I just said that I will definitely go watch it. I'm gonna have to rewatch the first couple ones just to remember all the details and stuff, but I'll definitely tune in too.
I forget the dude's name, but I'm interested to see the dude that's
Yeah.
playing Morpheus. Yeah.
I'm excited. And that's the reason why I'm going to see it, is because of him. Did you get like Ancient One from Doctor Strange vibes from him in that trailer? Like he is like, I don't know. I saw him. Maybe it's just the bald head and the martial arts kind of room. It looked a lot like the Ancient One, but I'm really excited for it. All right. So next thing on the docket is Shang-Chi. So let's talk about this a little bit. This is, I feel like we're witnessing history. Well, we'll talk about it over.
It was not.
Despite us being in a pandemic, Shang-Chi was the most, like they had the largest box office of any Labor Day weekend film ever. So that's pretty significant. Just looking at other
Yeah,
Labor
that's
Day.
huge.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of people thought that this movie had a lot of pressure because it didn't do so well. Basically, the fate of other movies on if it's going to, hit exclusively on theaters relied on it. And a lot of people thought it was going to flop just because it was a new Marvel franchise, a lot of new characters, but obviously it didn't. So, despite what we all think about the movie, technically it was a success in terms of
Oh,
box office.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
it's really exciting. But let's go into our overall thoughts.
Wait, before we get into the movie, how did you all feel being back in the movie theater? This
I've
is
been
my
back.
first time back, so
I've been back since Tenet.
oh,
I've, I've been back since Black Widow.
okay. This is my first time back in the movie theater, and much less in a movie theater in New York. So yeah, I have one right up the street from me.
Nice.
And so yeah, it was cool to be back. At first, I was like, I wish they would have put it on Disney Plus because I just would have rather watched it there. But then once I was there, I was like, I really missed watching stuff in the theater because I used to go to the movie theater all the time. And then the pandemic hit and I was just never there. So it was a cool
Yeah,
experience.
once Tenet dropped, yeah, I was in there.
Really? Yeah, I was. I never even saw it because I'm like, I'm not going to the theater.
Wow, it's on HBO Max now. Go tap
But
in.
yeah, still haven't watched it. Watched the reviews. I'm like, don't even need to watch.
The reviews don't matter because you're still not gonna understand it.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm like not
I
even
think I
gonna-
watched the first hour of that and did not understand what was going on. So I stopped.
Yeah.
You didn't even get to the good part where it literally goes backwards.
So did y'all watch in any sort of like what format? IMAX, Dolby, normal screening?
Mine was
Hold on,
Dolby.
about that.
Mhm.
I did. That was my first time being in a Dolby
It
theater.
went crazy.
That was I'm like, hold on.
I went
I
to
was
Dolby
like,
too.
It went crazy.
I'm like, hold on, this sound is nuts.
Yeah, Dolby Atmos, like that moving sound, that little animation they do to show you how cool like the sound is in the seats always gets me. Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. So yeah, overall thoughts. How about since I don't know, Bria, like you just saw the movie. I don't think any of us know how you felt about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Aunt does. So maybe
I really liked it. I really liked the movie. I wish that Aunt had told me how he felt before I went and saw it because the whole time I was just thinking like, how could he think this? But no, I really liked it. I think the character development was on par. I thought it was really good. The whole plot. I didn't really know much about Shang-Chi before I went and saw the movie. I know a lot of people like read the comics and know all the background and stuff like that. So I didn't really know much about that. And I was a little concerned that I was going to be lost like during the movie and not really know what was going on because I didn't have any of that background knowledge. But I really liked it.
Mhm. What about you, Aunt?
It was a mid.
Why do you think that?
It was. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't a bad movie. Like mid is an exaggeration. Just to be petty, but I saw people talking about it was like one of the best Marvel movies. I just don't think it's that. It was a good like introduction movie, and it was obviously good. It did good for a reason. But yeah, it wasn't all that. It's not like Thor or Thor 2 or nothing like that. It's not like that bad, but it's like mid table. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm on with Bria on this. I absolutely love this film, and I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. And I'm going to revisit it in like a month, but it's definitely challenging best origin film in the MCU for me. Like all the action that we get, it's just unparalleled to anything. Like it just constantly like we're seeing different unique fighting styles with different types of characters. I just think it was the story was great, evenly paced, and just literally fall in love with so many of the characters, and they're all new, so fresh faces to the MCU. So yeah, I definitely give it like 9 out of 10.
Generous.
I would definitely say like 8.5. Like I really enjoyed the movie.
Isn't Black Panther like the top ranked something like that? Like origin story?
In terms of box office, yeah. So
I think just ratings, really, not even much box office, just rating.
that's a good question. I have to look on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm gonna look it up.
Because I wouldn't be surprised though if Endgame and Infinity War are challenging that. But I'm sure Origin Films absolutely. It was the first billion-dollar Marvel film. Yeah, so I guess let's talk about what worked in the movie. I guess things that you liked, and I know you didn't like everything, but was there different things, specific characters, fights, scenes that you really liked?
I do like the main character as the main character. Like I said, that makes sense. But no, I liked him. I liked the villain. I like the storyline, or the overall storyline was cool. Only actor I didn't really like was Aquafina, to be honest.
Really, because that is the one thing that, not one thing, but that's something that I really enjoyed. I really liked her character development throughout the entire movie. Like a couple times throughout the movie, she really got on my nerves. Like when they were at the fighting ring and she was like, I am not jumping out that window. It's like, girl, he told you not to come in the first place. And now you about to blow up the whole operation. But I really liked how she kind of came into herself throughout the movie. So
I like the character. I'm talking about the actor for that.
You didn't how she acted in the, like, you didn't like her portraying Katie, basically.
Nah, I like Katie. I didn't like Aquafina.
Yeah.
But wait, but she's playing that like actor. So if you liked how she was portrayed, then you're liking Aquafina, right?
No, like I liked the concept of her.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't Aquafina gotten a lot of like backlash in the media for something recently? I don't know exactly what it is, but
really, I mean, I've seen criticism on like cultural appropriation in terms of like how she acts in different roles, in terms of like I'm blanking on the term, like quote unquote trying to talk black. I've seen some criticism there, but I honestly, outside of that, no, I haven't really. Maybe something I missed. I really like Aquafina. Loved her. Nora from Queens, like.
Yes, I loved her in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, she's so great. But yeah, she definitely, I love the comedic relief she brought to the movie. I just really loved how beautiful Talag is. Talag? I'm blanking on the name of the like mystical world that their mother was from.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely stunning. Definitely got some anime vibes with a like, with just like the creatures and everything that was in there. Kind of Avatar-y too. I also really love just how they introduced or like fit this story into like the rest of the MCU, like the pieces around, you know, people were blipped for 5 years and realized like life is too short, like their friend, and then they're bringing Wong and Abomination in. Even though I'm like, why did Disney have to put that in the trailer? Like that would have been such a delightful thing to just see in the movie. I felt like a lot of the big things, like Shang-Chi actually getting the rings, like a lot of the big moments were in the trailer, which is very annoying, but I think it still played really well. And just seeing rings, like a new type of, I guess, weapon that was so unique, and seeing like the dynamic of the rings. We've seen Thor's hammer, a shield. So I just felt like it was another cool thing to bring in a gauntlet. So I just love the different unique pieces they're bringing into the MCU. What were you about to say, Aunt? Sorry.
Speaking of creatures, I like the little faces thing. That was the cutest thing to me.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so adorable. Wait, how did you like the Trevor Slattery reveal?
Yeah, I like that part too. I was like, you know that meme, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV?
Yeah.
That was me.
I remember he was at the red carpet, so a lot of people were guessing, like, is he in the movie? So it was like in the back of my head that he could have showed up, but yeah. I loved like him acting like that scene where he was like acting like he was like a dead soldier in that final battle. Oh my god, it was so funny.
No, I was cracking up at that scene. It was so funny.
Yeah. So, what about things that you necessarily didn't like?
The end. You probably should have said spoiler alert, but it's too late now.
Read the description.
But it just felt like predictable. I don't know. I don't know what I would have changed, but I just feel like I could have used more suspense at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked how it tied back to the friends, but it was also like I wonder where this is going to go. And yeah, they like led them into the portal and all of that, but I don't know. It's kind of still a cliffhanger, in my opinion. I don't like things on cliffhangers, which reminds me, I have a story to tell about my movie theater experience seeing Shang-Chi, but we can save that to the end.
Okay. I mean, I see what actually I don't see what you mean about the final one, the battle, and because I thought it was really beautiful, like incorporating the dragon, got a little Game of Thrones action in there, and with like the town and stuff. I think it was cool, but the one thing I wish they would have elaborated a little bit more on is like these voices calling Wen Wu.
Mhm.
It's like they talked about it, and then it's like, okay, like he showed up. It wasn't real because we see all these creatures flying out. But I just really wish like we knew a little bit more of like that force behind those creatures. Like I've seen a lot of theories and stuff like, oh, this is the same creature that was talking to Wanda from WandaVision. I don't know, so many different things.
Oh, wow.
But it would be nice to kind of know like what was actually driving that, because I feel like after the battle started, we never revisited it. So that was my only nitpick with the movie.
How did
I
you
mean,
all?
also,
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, also, just like it just felt like sort of like with the circle thing. He just got the rings. He never practiced with them, but suddenly he knows. At the end, he has to beat this dragon. He just knows what to do with them. He knows he can just put them on the dragon and do whatever it did. Like, no, you just got them 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, like, so you just know, like, it's just stuff like that that I don't know. It don't make sense. Like, it don't add up. But so I mean, if they could have put like more like something more like space it out more and have him like somebody tell him like, hey, you gotta do this with this. Here's the instruction manual. We got 2 minutes to read it. And then it makes more sense. Versus you just happening to know, even though nobody but your father has had these rings. So how would you know what to do with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guess it could be like almost sentient things, like there's like they basically do what you want them to do type thing. That's how I like they just naturally work.
That's a cheat code.
I mean, but I mean, I see, but I guess like if I'm thinking about like a trade-off, I really didn't have, I just saw him like being trained by his aunt, like fighting. So I don't think I needed to see him being trained for the rings because he didn't necessarily know if he was going to get them or not. So in terms of like I guess I didn't mind they didn't show it just because we saw a lot of training footage in general. But I see what you mean though. Like,
I mean, even if they had like just like her, like if she said something to him, like his mom, or no, was it his aunt? His aunt, because even like in Black Panther, he put the suit on, and Shuri was like yelling at him, like telling him stuff like do this, and then he would do it. He's like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you all feel about the scene with the dad where he sacrifices himself? Did you feel that? I really felt like it was kind of a loose end. Not saying that like I wanted Shang-Chi to kill his dad, but I feel like him sacrificing himself didn't really give him the closure that he might need. So I kind of struggled with that scene.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from, because I remember like right before that, he's thinking like before they go on that journey that he would have to kill his dad.
Mhm.
He said, I'm gonna have to kill dad. And then so it ended up happening where he didn't have to, but I think he kind of came to terms that basically his dad was to a point beyond saving because he wouldn't give it up.
Yeah.
So I kind of took it like that. But it was tough because it's like, man, it's like a mistake and you just wanted him to redeem himself. So I definitely see
Yeah, I also thought that was just a cheap way out. Dragon picked him up, And I was just like, all right, man. I guess.
I'm curious to know because I think now like in the MCU we have so many like secret quote magic forces. Like I feel like we're always introducing like oh hidden kingdom like how Wakanda was and like basically when Doctor Strange went to the sanctum and all that stuff. So did y'all feel like it wove well into the MCU, or do you feel like oh it's another magic dwelling people type thing?
I think
That was from the beginning.
I think I feel like the latter. I'll be really interested to see how they integrate all of this into the MCU. And I know they kind of started with the ending credit scenes. But I'll really be interested to see how all of this works together and if it will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll definitely be interested. I think that's the first thing you said though. I mean, we've heard of the Ten Rings. They've had like clues to it. So to finally see it being like part of like the main story, I guess I'm interested to see that and how that unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so I mean, let's talk about those post-credit scenes because I feel like we got a mid-credit and a post-credit scene. And I felt like, you know, one was pointing to the future kind of, and then one was like kind of like bringing Shang-Chi and Katie to like the rest of the MCU. So the first one was when Wong kind of brought them to the like sanctum and he's with Dr. Banner and Captain Marvel. Dr. Banner's back into his human form.
Yeah.
Despite like merging.
Love that for him.
Yeah, exactly. And then also Captain Marvel was there with slightly longer hair from last time we saw her in Endgame.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts about that first mid-credit scene? Well, the mid-credit scene.
I don't remember what happened.
So remember they were taking a look at the what's in the rings, like basically the ring, it was like a token that they were analyzing. So it's basically some power source, but I feel like that is going to be somehow either going to be from Eternals, some future Marvel property, but it almost looked like an Infinity Stone, like
Yeah,
because it was like sending a beacon or something, right? Yeah, okay, I remember that now.
So it was like a signal that's calling somebody. So I have no idea. I think that I was so surprised seeing like Bruce like that, and I think it's probably just preparing us for She-Hulk because I bet they don't want to do the CGI for him for the whole series for the Hulk. So maybe that's because we know he's gonna be in it. But it was great to see Carol in it too because you know she's supposed to be like monitoring all space activity for the Avengers. So it made sense why she was there.
yeah.
Yeah. And then so the post-credit scene was with Shang Ling.
Mhm.
Basically, her brother thought that she was going back to shut down her father's operation with the Ten Rings. Come to find out, she just gave it a new face.
I love that for her.
I
love
actually
it.
liked it.
I loved it too. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Like,
She put some murals up.
mhm.
Some new furniture with the IKEA. You know what I'm saying?
And she had the
I
guys
feel
and the
it.
girls training together. I know that was important for her. So no, I really like that for her. I was like, because you know, she when we kind of got the backstory on the current Fight Club that she had started, she built it from the ground up when she was like, what, 14, 15, 16. So just knowing what she'll be able to do with that, I don't know, I'm excited for her. And I think it's kind of a good time to tell my story about what happened in the theater. So everyone knows that like you don't get up from a Marvel movie until the lights turn on, right? Like I feel like that's common knowledge. So I was sitting there and all of a sudden this guy in my row, he tries to get up, like he's about to leave. So I put my little recliner down so that he can walk past. And this was after the first end credit scene. And the lights still wouldn't come on. I was like, usually there's 2, sometimes 3. So I'm just gonna sit here. And he walks past me and he goes, you know, the movie is over. Like you can leave now. And I was looking at him like, first off, you must be new here because that's not how it works. And
Right.
secondly, even if the movie was over and the lights were on and I'm sitting down, what does that have to do with you? Why are you talking to me? And sure enough, he left and he missed the whole end credit scene, the one where she started her own training club. I was like, that's what you get for not minding your business.
I know he is. He is sick. He probably read like the 2 post-credit scenes explained, saw that on YouTube. He's like, what?
It was 2.
I just could not believe that. I was like, why are you in my business? Like,
That is crazy. Yeah, he definitely fumbled the bag there.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that last credit scene was amazing, and I can't wait to see more of her in the MCU.
Did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I looked it up. On Rotten Tomatoes, Black Panther is still number 1.
What's their rating?
96%.
Okay. What was Shang-Chi?
They have Shang-Chi at 7 with a 92%.
92. Okay.
I think it's fair. Like it's not above Iron Man, it's not above Endgame, Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's not. I feel like it should be way higher than Homecoming, but that could be a hot take. I do not like Homecoming. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, that's.
I like it, but I don't think it's better than Far From Home, at all. But it's whatever. Okay, so it's like ranked kind of like in the middle. Well, more like top tier Marvel films. It's in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, nice.
I'm looking at this list. I'm like, they kind of wild in. Doctor Strange is 12.
Wait, what was number 12?
Doctor Strange. I'm
like 12. Doctor Strange, very bottom of my MCU list, literally 25th on the list. So I definitely get that.
You are wild. I love Doctor Strange.
Clearly on different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, you guys are
wild.
I hated that movie, but I feel like someone that I just do not enjoy.
One thing that I wanted to bring up, I know you asked about the kind of overall connection that this is going to have to the MCU. I don't know if you saw this connection, but apparently the people who were in the end credit scene had the same sign over the chair or on the wall as the people who kidnapped Iron Man in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he had the 10 rings tattoo on his neck.
Yeah, I think that's a cool connection.
Yeah, for sure, because and it's too funny how they talked about that, because 10 rings basically like this, literally just like Americans, and then they reclaimed this symbol, like this myth of the 10 rings, and they were operating under it. And then like that table scene when Wu was talking to Shang-Chi about like Americans like recreating it, I thought that was so funny because they really kind of just stole their whole entire identity. Like, it's funny. So yeah, that was really interesting how they tied that all back in. I also like cameo from the dude who's like, do a flip, Spider-Man.
Yes, I saw that too.
Recording the fight, and on the bus. So that was fun.
Okay, that fight scene was cool, but the whole time I was thinking, no way he survived. No way. Like, there's no way Shang-Chi would have survived that for real. Like, because the guy had a whole machete as an arm and like literally swinging it around, and he survived. Like, it's not realistic, but we'll go with it.
That scene was crazy.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. On the defense the whole time, like you could tell he wasn't trying to hurt anybody, and it was a cool way to first see his powers. I love that scene.
Yeah.
But I remember too, I was thinking, I'm like, is this? They were like literally fighting. You see the bus and it's like in ruins. And then boom, his like henchmen show up like towards the end of the scene. I'm like, where'd you come from?
Just been chilling.
Right, just chilling on the bus.
I'm like, cut.
like, how, like, where were y'all? Because I swore they showed the full bus and they kind of popped back up. But
Right.
yeah, another nitpick, I guess. Cool. Any other final thoughts around Shang-Chi?
It wasn't as bad as it made it sound like it was.
Said it was okay.
He said it was mid.
That is crazy. Did y'all get any, like, did you get the Spider-Man trailer, Eternals trailer, or any cool trailers that you liked when you watched Shang-Chi?
I got I didn't see any trailers.
Really? Oh, you got
Yeah.
there.
I saw trailers, but I don't remember what they were. I actually do think it was the Eternals one, but I was kind of running late too, so I was kind of scrambling to sit down.
The Eternal one was in my showing too, and I thought it was amazing on the big screen. I cannot wait. That's my most anticipated film for the Marvel's next phase, so I'm excited.
What?
No, that'd be exciting.
What I'm guessing
Spider-Man is coming out in December. Yes.
But do you realize like half the creative is Sony? So I have no faith in Sony. I have all the faith in Marvel though.
We're getting all 3 Spider-Mans in the same movie.
I know, but that can go really good. Or go really bad. I'm still very excited for it. But Eternals, Richard Madden, Gemma Chan, Salma Hayek. I'm sorry, that cast is like unbeatable.
Yeah, Spider-Man has potential to be really good, but it's just
not better than Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's a matter of how well Sony can do with it. So my hopes aren't high, but
Tom Holland is gonna put that movie on his back.
I'm sure
that is my Spider-Man.
He's not a writer, he's not a director, he's not a producer, so he can only do so much.
He's gonna carry.
But yeah, I never want to bet against Tom Holland, but yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Have y'all been watching the What Ifs?
Yeah.
I watched the first 2. They're really good.
Oh, you gotta keep watching.
You are wilding.
I know. I haven't had time to catch up.
Yeah, well, that's a great transition, like into other things y'all have been watching, binging. I love What If. The newest episode just came out technically yesterday. And
that's my favorite episode.
What's the storyline of that one?
Basically just taking the prompt for this one. It's what if Killmonger saved Tony in the first Iron Man movie?
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't my favorite, most probably second to last in terms of like ranking them so far, because I felt like a lot of it was the same actions as Black Panther, like the plot line for Black Panther, but
yeah,
much spoiler.
But he was wilding.
Yeah, he was. It was tough to get animated. I'm like, gosh, this is like kind of crazy to see. Like, I bet kids are like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But the series is just amazing. Just the idea that it can explore so many different prompts. And the animation is so cool, so unique. So definitely recommend it for anyone thinking about watching What If.
I like the zombie one. I didn't like the Doctor Strange one. Or the one after that. See,
I like that better than the whole Doctor Strange movie.
Actually, because I didn't like the zombie one, but I think they're probably gonna continue it because of cliffhanger. I'll probably like the second part of that one. But the whole love story thing, I'm not with it. I didn't care.
For Doctor Strange?
Yes.
I felt like
it was good, but it was sad. I'm like,
it was really depressing. It's kind of, yeah, that storyline I think was really powerful though, because I felt like for the first Doctor Strange movie, they didn't give him a lot of like, outside of him kind of being an a-hole and a pretentious guy, like, and just him losing like the ability to be a doctor. I feel like you don't have a lot of emotional connections to him, and I feel like you do in the What If episodes. As I guess I look at it differently. But I love the T'Challa, What If T'Challa was Star-Lord episode. Is probably my favorite one still.
I saw that one too. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. And then
I like the first one.
Yes, the first one was good too.
I did like that one.
Really?
I didn't care for it. I don't know. I don't like Captain America in general. So I was like,
You said, oh, Captain.
Make Captain America a woman. I don't care.
Captain Carter.
He's still not woman or man.
Oh my god. Ouchie and ouch.
I like that one. But I'm gonna keep watching and finish the series. How many episodes is it?
Mm-hmm.
I did like how they put the Iron Giant in it though.
So, okay, interesting. I feel like that was the most boring part of the series. So you just don't want to see a woman Captain America.
I don't want to see Captain America at all.
That is funny.
How many episodes total is it?
I think they're doing 10.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering, Hawkeye comes out in November or November 24. I think it's gonna be bringing us right to. Oh,
it should be about November, so probably in like next month.
Oh yeah, and then Eternals. Oh, with Eternals being November 6th, it probably ends right before that.
My birthday.
Wait, your birthday's November 6th?
Yeah.
Same with my mom's. It's funny.
Real one.
What's your sign, Aunt? Scorpio?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
vibes.
Cool.
What else
Any
am I watching?
watching anything?
So I started Harry Potter yesterday, and I didn't watch Harry Potter as a kid. My parents were like, spirits and magic and pastor's kid and all that type of stuff. So I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter growing up. And so my roommates were like, let's watch this first one. And I really like it. like I've been to Universal. I went to Harry Potter World there, and it was cool, but like I didn't really understand what was going on. But now I have to finish. Like I have to finish it. So
nice.
I've enjoyed Harry Potter so far.
That is so funny. My parents were the same exact way, because my brother, he would read them and then he would have bad dreams, so they would put the books in the garage. And then
he ruined it for all y'all.
Yeah, that's so funny.
My dad, finally, I convinced my dad to read it. And he was like, I'll read it and I'll let you know if it's good. Those books are like 800 pages long. So by the time he finished reading it, it wasn't even cool to like Harry Potter anymore. So I was like, it's whatever. So I started one movie a long time ago, but I fell asleep during it because it was already up late. So I finally started watching it again yesterday, and I'm gonna definitely finish it eventually. The movies are long, so I'll pace it out. I'm not in a rush, but yeah, definitely got to keep watching.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of what else I watched. I watched Clickbait. I thought that was overrated.
Clickbait?
Yeah.
What didn't? Actually, don't tell me. I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably watch it.
I really like 9 Perfect Strangers. They dropped a new episode yesterday. They got interesting.
Okay.
Finally.
I gotta binge that.
I was like, ooh.
Episode.
I know, our first episode coming soon.
Yeah.
Let's see, that was on Hulu. So that's Netflix and Hulu. Did I say Netflix? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I binge watched some. Trying to catch them on anime too. I'm behind on that. I watched
what animes do you like?
They turn on there.
What anime?
Naruto and stuff like that. But I caught up on Boruto. Somehow I missed like 15 episodes. Binge watched those yesterday. I was like, dang, y'all turned. Y'all literally fighting for your life every episode.
So there's still new episodes of Naruto?
No, it's the same.
Okay, gotcha.
HBO Max. I'm gonna watch. I started Titans on there, and then I watched Malignant. Oh my god, that movie pissed me off. It was so good.
We were talking about it yesterday, or not yesterday, Tuesday, Maya, before you joined.
The first hour was so good. I'm like, hold on, is this finally a decent scary movie? And then they blew it. The last 45 minutes. I'm like the last 45 minutes don't make sense at all. I'm just like, all right, man.
Okay, give us the plot. I'm not gonna watch it because scary movies and looks like bloody. But give us the plot and like generally what it was about without spoiling it.
Basically, you got this woman. She feels like she's seeing visions of like this figure killing people. That's all I can say. Without spoiling.
Okay. Yeah. Once again, visions. Spirits, demons. Not really my realm. I like to stay far away from that kind of stuff.
Neither is mine.
because I be having nightmares and be up all night thinking about that kind of stuff. So, but
So y'all not gonna watch it?
Absolutely not.
I'll maybe watch it if like it's midday, lights on, that kind of thing.
Oh, I was gonna say if you're not gonna watch it, I can just say it now.
I mean, if just go ahead because it's definitely not top of my priority list.
All right, so it starts off with this lady. She's pregnant. Um, she goes home. Her husband's in bed. Whatever they talk blah blah blah. Then they get this altercation. He smashes her head up against the wall. She locks him out. And then they go to the hospital. Blah blah blah. Her sister starts taking care of her, and then she starts like having visions of this dude. So like there's 3 different scenes where like she sees this all black figure with this long hair killing people. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting because how the fuck does she keep seeing these visions? Fast forward after you get through all these things, pretty much, oh, it was weird. So then she's working with the police, blah blah blah. Then you see like the policemen finally like they don't believe her at first because they're like, "Oh, you're just seeing shit. You're being weird. This is probably you." And then there's a scene where the policeman is literally chasing this figure through like they jump down like a fire escape, run through this all these like different rooms and stuff like that. And I'm just like, first of all, you're wilding because he literally at one point just like runs, kicks out this window, and he jumps down. And then the policeman just jumps down the window, no light on. I'm like,
Yeah,
you can easily just get at any point. He just is just chasing him through all these buildings, like deeper and deeper into the ground. And I'm just like, yeah, you're wild. I would have turned around. Yeah, back up. I lost him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. But he's doing all this parkour and stuff like that, blah blah blah. And that's why it didn't make sense because then the final reveal is it's her. She was born as an abomination, and she has like it was supposed to be a twin, but she was like deformed. So like it grew. The other twin grew on the back of her. So like she has a face on the back of her face on her head, and then she has like arms coming out of her back. And they did surgery on her, and they just like pretty much just pushed the other twin into her skull and just sewed her up.
Oh my god.
So when she got her head smashed against the wall, it like woke him up.
Woke him up.
So pretty much, like she would hear like his voice in her head, and she would like they show like young tapes, whatever, and people thought she was talking to her imaginary friend. She's actually just talking like in her head. It's just 2 voices. So he would
terrifying.
He would take her body over, and he would do all his actions as her, like her body, but reverse. So like he would walk forward, but she's walking backwards. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. She's doing parkour, jumping around, but backwards. I'm like, this is just stupid now. This is dumb. This is stupid. They put her in this jail cell with like 50 other women, and she just killed them all. And she's a small, frail white woman. And they had a scene where she literally punched through somebody's stomach, like arm fully through. I'm like, how? She is not that strong. She is 98 pounds soaking wet. How is she doing this? It was just dumb. Like up until that point, I was like, this is a fire. And then it got to that, and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah. No, that sounds a mess, honestly.
Right.
That's funny.
Very fried. Very big miss from HBO Max.
One of the things, speaking of HBO Max, I've been watching. Have you all been watching Sweet Life?
I watched the first episode.
I finished the series a couple of days ago now. I was a little bit late to finishing it because I was traveling last weekend, but the reunion is actually tonight. So I'm going to try to catch that a little bit later. It's lots of drama. It's like, if you aren't very familiar with it, it's, I think, 8 people who are our age, which is also, something that we don't see very often, Real Housewives and all of those reality shows. They're a little bit older than us, but these are people our age. And they're a friend group, but they're just kind of navigating starting their own businesses and friendships and things like that. There's some drama, like from the love side of you. Curious to hear your thoughts on Brianna whenever you guys do watch it. But it's a really good series. I'm a huge Issa Rae fan. Everything she does to me is gold. So like I'm definitely gonna continue to watch what she does on her production studios and things. But I'm excited to catch the reunion a little bit later too. It'll be fun.
I only watched the half like the first episode. I like the yoga part though.
What other part?
The yoga part.
Oh, the yoga part. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I really don't watch a lot of reality TV, and I feel like that show is going to change. But I'm like, gosh, I have so much drama. I'm so drama averse. So like watching drama on TV, I'm like, I just can't do it. But I feel like it'd be really nice to explore some of the nuances, things for like Black people our age. I feel like that's what's going to get me to watch it, just to see how people like go about like friends, relationships, family, and going about that. So I still think that there is a compelling reason for me to watch. So I'll try.
Yeah, no, I recommend it. It's the drama isn't anything that's, basketball wives, hip hop, love and hip hop. Like it's not that kind of drama. It's more so like, you're my friend and why would you do that type of thing, type of drama. It's real mild drama, calm stuff.
I know the girl with the blonde hair.
Yes.
I watched that first episode. I already know that was gonna be like, gosh.
She's my least favorite character, but we'll talk about that.
So what I've been watching outside of What If, I started Desperate Housewives. Just randomly. I'm also going to start Money Heist because everyone talks about it, and I'm like just finally going to just accept it and watch. But I'm also really excited to start season 2 of C on Apple TV Plus. The first season was amazing with Jason Momoa, my husband. Oh my god. And the plot is so good. I started watching for Jason Momoa, and I kept watching because the plot, the whole premise of the show is basically after years and years and I guess apocalypse, whatever, people lost the ability to see, like with their eyes, like SEE. And there's these twins that were born with sight. And that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Because it is such an interesting concept, and like things, it's just amazing, the writing, like the things you didn't realize that are created because people can see, like the world building and like how they reshape the world as they know it when people building and contributing to society can't see, is so interesting. So just dropped season 2 a few weeks ago, so I'll be watching that.
I did not realize there's a season 2. I love season 1 of that series, so I'll have to tune in. Yeah,
I have to watch that. I watched like the first episode, and I don't use Apple TV a lot, so I just kind of forgot about it. Yeah. I need to watch Ted Lasso too.
Yeah, that's another show I'm watching.
Okay, what's that show about? You guys have talked about that for the past couple of days.
It is so good. So basically, he was a college coach, and he was like a championship winning coach, and he's recruited to coach a soccer league based in the UK, and it's a comedy series, so it's not really like heavily plot driven, but also just more so like the unique relationships between the players, between the owner of the team, the coach, his coaching staff. There's all these like funny bits that but ultimately I think the show is getting a lot of praise and a lot of people are gravitating to it because it's so wholesome. Okay. It kind of gives you that, it's not like This Is Us. It's like, just imagine This Is Us, but its main purpose is to make you laugh. Okay. Like, it's like warm and fuzzy feeling that you get from the main character. That's at least why I watch it. I really love the show.
I'm gonna watch it for the feetball. Oh, that's my sport. That's my sport.
I guess, but it's like secondary. Like they're barely actually playing soccer in the series.
So. Oh, 2 out of 10.
The show.
Yeah, so highly recommend that too.
I was watching the Apple event from yesterday, and they said, they could have just been making a claim, so they just be doing anything. But they were talking about how they apparently shows get all these kind of awards, and I'm like, I'm gonna tap in. I do not be. That's like my least used streaming service.
Yeah. I haven't watched much on Apple TV. I don't know if y'all seen the one. I think his name was Jacob.
Yes.
Defending Jacob. That. I really like that one. Because he had me to like the very end. So it's like a without spoiling it, it's like a kid who is accused of killing a classmate, And so they're trying to prove if he actually did it or not, because he's saying he didn't do it. But, there's a whole bunch of evidence that points the other way. So they're trying to decide, did he actually do it or not? Definitely a really good mystery. So if you like that kind of stuff, tune into that too.
It's all in it.
I'm gonna add that to my list.
Yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, is anyone watching anything else? I think that's about it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for me too.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning into our first episode. As a bit of a heads up, next week we'll be talking about 9 Perfect Strangers. So if you want to take time to watch that, that's on Hulu. They're dropping 1 episode a week. So you can binge what's the date? Tuesdays?
2 Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. So yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that so that you can be ready for the conversation for our next episode. And we'll see you all next time.
Wait, no. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Bingeverse.
Yeah.
And you tap in with us.
Yes.
I don't know if we can put this on YouTube, but
make sure that you get our notifications when everything drops. And yes, follow us on social media.